they're back there. Bathrooms are located in the concession stand areas, forward and back. We do ask that as you sit down on the field, you try to stay inside the field as much as possible, not on the sides, so the graduates have a clear place to walk. A couple more reminders. No string, no confetti, no glitter.
Won't be too much longer. If you need a bottle of water, make sure you go get that now. If you are eating food, you might want to hurry up and finish that up. We're going to try to start right at 7 o'clock. So, one last time, no smoking, no vaping, no alcohol, no silly string, confetti, glitter, any of those things. Other than that, sit back and enjoy tonight. It's graduation, y'all.
I think that's right.
Okay, good deal. Thanks.
I remember waiting for the school bus. Jenny Clayton was my first crush, and neither one of us had a clue. In old Cheyenne, it was my first truck, rusted, rough, and kind of beat up. But when she jumped in, it felt brand new. And now these days when I drive through a small town, I turn my stereo up and roll my windows down, 'cause it reminds me of my first kiss and those days that I always miss. Tom Petty on the radio, going steady with nowhere to go. No money, just time to spend. An old Chevy and a couple friends. Oh, how I wish that I could go back in time, just to love you again.
It is. Parents and family, welcome out to 2020 Central High School graduation quarantine style, I guess you could say. If you're able to stand, turn around, look at your graduates. There are 99 on our schedule of 161. And graduates, as you get ready to walk in, we want you to know that this song is for you. Enjoy tonight, everybody.
8 years old, a couple cane posts sitting down by the creek. Lines in the water, watching those bobbers, seeing that red sun sink. Mama's on the porch yelling supper's hot, y'all come and get it. We yelled 5 more minutes. More minutes. In '86, my grandpa said there's angels in the room. All the family gathered round, knew the time was coming soon. With so much left to say, I prayed, Lord, I ain't finished, just give us 5 more minutes. Time rolls by, the clock don't stop. I wish I had a few more drops of the good stuff, the good times. Oh, but they just keep on flying right on by like it ain't nothing. I wish I had me a pause button. Moments like those, Lord knows I'd hit it. Yeah, sometimes this old life will leave you wishing that you had 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. In a time full of war, be peace. In a time full of doubt, just believe. Yeah, there ain't that much difference between you and me. In a time full of war, be peace. In a world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be a light. In a place that needs change, make a difference. In a time full of noise, just listen. 'Cause life is but a breeze, better live it. In a place that needs to change, make a difference. In a world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Oh, don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be a light. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. In a race that you can't win, slow it down. Yeah, you only get one go round. 'Cause the finish line is 6 feet in the ground. In a race you can't win, just slow it down. In a world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Make it right. Don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be a light. Yeah, it's hard to live in color when you
If you're able to stand, please stand as our graduates make the official walk-in now. everybody have a seat. Once again, I want to take a moment to welcome you out to tonight's graduation ceremonies. We've gone over the rules enough times, I'm not sure we have to do that, but there is one important announcement that I do need to make. This was put on by a small group of people that turned into a larger group of people. And that small group of people need a larger group of people to help after this is over tonight. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We need help getting all the chairs put up, please, and taking the stage down. So tonight, after the ceremony is concluded, there's time for pictures, there's times for food, there's times for all the great stuff afterwards. But parents, if you are able, we do need some help knocking out some chairs and knocking down a stage as soon as this is over. They would really appreciate that. Special thanks. The Crazy Mom Crew. This is who put it all together, and they wanted to be known as the Crazy Mom Crew. You can probably guess who they are because they're crazy, right? Amanda Watts Photography, Bogus Videography, Mike Key Photography and Entertainment. There's also numerous people and companies that have donated time, materials, and money to make tonight happen. Too many to list, so we want to say thank you to all of them. The best thing about our communities, our central community, is the parents, the family, the friends who have supported these students for the last 4 years as they have worn the Charger blue. Students, please take a moment to turn around and say thank you. Having said that, it wouldn't be possible without the two sitting areas in front of me, the grads and the families. Central people come together all the time. They come together to raise money, to cheer on our athletes, to support teachers and administrators, to basically do whatever, work a concession stand, drive people on academic or athletic events. We do all kinds of stuff for our students. And because of how Central people are and how McMinn Countyans are, it's what makes tonight take place. If you're a graduate of Central, please raise your hand. Leave them up for just a moment. Students, turn around and look. Yeah, y'all are graduating. Turn around and look at those hands. Now I'm going to ask the next question. If you're a graduate of that other school in McMinn County, please raise your hand. There's a lot of those, right? Hey, there's something always to be thankful for, okay? It's thankful that you get to wear a blue robe and not a black robe, right? It's thankful that you don't have to wear a red robe. And I'm pretty sure that Jordan Ledford owns them anyways, according to some tweets that I read back in the fall, in the winter. I'm thinking that Garrett King dropped like 32 points on Polk County in the district. Our senior golfers won district every year they were there. The senior cheer squad and dance team not only entertained us, but won several awards themselves. Girls soccer finished second in the district. Spring sports got knocked out, but I'm told that the baseball team promised that they were going to win district this year. Academically, you can look around and see all the tassels that are yellow, all the cords that are around people's necks, and know that academically, Central did a lot of great stuff. I want you to look around for just a moment because we all come from the same place for the most part. Almost everybody's hand was raised just a moment ago. Graduates, these are the people to look up to. They've supported your entire life journey, and tonight is a celebration of your achievements and the final push from us as you head into your next endeavor. With that thought in mind, let me introduce to you tonight our special guest. Tonight, singing for us the national anthem will be Alyssa Bohannon. Valedictorian addresses will be delivered by Sydney Adderhold and Gracie Manus. The 2020 class will be presented by State Representative Mr. Mark Cochran. Student roll call will be conducted by County School Board member Mr. Mike Cochran and County Commissioner Mr. Tim King. When it comes time to turn the tassels, you will be led by Katie Grace Reynolds, Braden Lingerfelt, Gracie Manus, and Nicholas Tullock. And as we get ready to go into this graduation time, I just want to take a moment to pray for us. After all, I am the minister, and that's kind of what we do best, right? So let me pray for us. Father God, Lord, tonight, I just simply ask and pray that you allow the rain to continue to hold off for a few moments. God, I pray that you would allow us to celebrate our graduates. God, I pray that you would allow us to continue to support them as they move on into the next chapter of their life. And God, tonight is different. We're not in a gym. We're not at our Central High School campus. But God, you place us in special places for special reasons. God, I'm reminded of the book of Ezra, where the people who were in captivity in Babylon went back to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple, and you had people celebrating because the temple was being built, and you had people crying and weeping because the temple wasn't being built as big as it used to be. God, maybe tonight we have people that feel both ways of that. God, we have people who are sad that we're not getting to be at Central, but we have people excited and celebrating the fact that we get to honor our graduates. God, let us realize that we're all on the same page here. God, that we are here to celebrate our graduates. From those who wear the valedictorian robe to those who may just be happy to be wearing a robe at all. God, we ask that you would allow us to celebrate them, to encourage them, to love them one last time. God, for so many of these graduates, everybody here in this field has watched them grow up. We've coached them in Little League. We've helped them out with homework. We've been their neighbors. And so, God, tonight is a celebration not just of that one student, that one graduate that is our family, but God, it is a celebration of everyone here wearing a robe. Let us take time to enjoy that. God, let us realize that's possible because of your wonderful Son, Jesus. And God, we ask that you bless tonight in his name. It's in your Son's name we pray. Amen. Stand for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you. You may be seated. Do you cannot hear me?
Okay. I'd like to start by saying thank you so much to the wonderful parents and members of the community for coming together to make this happen for us. I appreciate your hard work more than you know. Now, class of 2020. Okay. Thank you. We've spent the last 4 years walking the halls of Central High School and making countless amazing memories, most without even realizing we were making them. From game days to prom and now to graduation, we have made memories that we will never forget. We began our career at Central as bumbling, awkward 14-year-olds, but after growing and learning together, we are leaving as mature young adults ready to take on the world. I credit a large part of my journey to my wonderful family who has loved and supported me in anything that I've ever done. But most importantly, I attribute my entire journey to the love and grace of the Lord. And I know this year has been far from how we planned, but I'm so proud of the grace and perseverance with which we have handled it. As high school comes to a close and we each begin new journeys, I know that we will be able to handle new challenges thrown our way with that same grace and perseverance. I believe the Lord has a plan for each and every one of us, and I cannot wait to see what becomes of the class of 2020. Thank you.
Yeah, either way you want to. I go up that. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a little taller than Sydney is. Okay. Hello, my name is Gracie Magnus, and it is an honor to be here representing the class of 2020 as valedictorian. I know it's harder than Hades out here, but bear with me, I promise I won't be long. I'm continually asked, are you glad to be done with high school? I know it's a simple yes or no answer, but it is not that simple to me. Yes, I am glad I won't have to sit in the same class all day, and it'll be nice to not have to follow the same schedule and do the same classwork. I'm not going to miss the busy hallways and forever going morning announcements by Mr. Gilbert. I won't miss having to wake up early and still managing to roll into the parking lot at 8:12 for those of you that know me well. But that doesn't mean I won't miss the good things. I'm going to miss having all my friends in the same place at the same time, just like today. I'll miss those mornings where you debate whether to go to McDonald's or go to first period. I'll miss high school football games and the crazy tailgates before them. I'll miss going to cookout after games and not getting home until about 2 a.m. I'll miss starting my car on Saturday morning and having my eardrums blown out by the music on Friday night. I'm going to miss going to eat fast food and piling 9 people into my 5-person car. I'll miss the hilarious group chats that hold more secrets than the FBI. I'm definitely going to miss waking up late from a sleepover with my friends and still managing to go to Waffle House at 12 o'clock. I'll miss the people that made my years at high school bearable. The memories made with the people you love are what made high school the best 4 years of our lives. And being able to make those memories will be missed. So when you ask me, are you glad to be done with high school? Of course I am, but I'm definitely not. Thank you, class, for making all those memories with me and for making high school the best 4 years ever. Thank you.
In a time full of war, be peace. In a time full of doubt, just believe. Yeah, there ain't that much difference between you and me. In a time full of war, be peace. In a world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be a light. In a place that needs change, make a difference. In a time full of noise, just listen. 'Cause life is but a breeze, better live it. In a place that needs to change, make a difference. In a world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Oh, don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be a light. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. In a race that you can't win, slow it down.
Yeah, you only get one go round.
'cause the finish line is 6 feet in the ground. In a race you can't win, just slow it down. In a world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right, make it right. Don't hide in the dark, you were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be a light. Yeah, it's hard to live in color when you just see black and white. In a world full of hate, be a light.
I want to take a moment to introduce you tonight to our keynote speaker, Mr. Kyle Blassingame. He's a native Athenian, a recent Tennessee Wesleyan graduate. Kyle graduated with a degree in exercise science and minor in business administration. An athlete, Kyle ran track and cheered for the university, as well as being active in several campus organizations. Kyle has received numerous awards, including the 2020 ACCS Male Champions of Character Award. On July 19, 2019, Kyle was involved in a tragic car accident that resulted in the loss of a great friend, time in school, and his leg. However, tonight, Kyle is here to talk about his fight in overcoming these obstacles, to finish school on time, and his mission is to use his journey to help and advocate for others. I want you to take a moment to please welcome Kyle Blassingame.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to start off by congratulating all of you graduates on making it this far. It is definitely not an easy journey and definitely a milestone to be proud of. Like Brian said, my name is Kyle Blassingame. I was born and raised here in Athens. I recently graduated from Tennessee Wesleyan University with a degree in exercise science and a minor in business administration. And that's where I also went off to go run track, where I was a long jumper and triple jumper, along with cheering on the Bulldogs and then being part of the Student Government Association, their orientation coordinator, and many other things. Like Brian also said, my accident did take place on July 19th of 2019. It's just a year ago on Sunday. A little backstory on the accident itself. It was a 16-year-old decided to make a reckless decision that night on deciding to take part in stealing a vehicle, which also then resulted in a high-speed chase by the police. On that night, about 9:09 at night, that's whenever me and a friend of mine from school were hit head-on at over 100 miles an hour. With that being said, we spent many nights in the Medical University of South Carolina, where I was on a ventilator for a couple days. The doctors were telling my parents, everything should go good, but, they can't guarantee if you're going to make it out. I did suffer through over 16 different broken bones, all the way from my feet, my knees, both my femurs, 2 spots in my spine, 2 spots in my nose, 8 of my ribs, and then also some other internal organ issues that I had. Thankfully, through God, I was able to wake up after my coma on Sunday, 2 days after the accident, but unfortunately, my friend was not able to. Today does mark 1 year ago that he did pass away. But I know that every day he looks up and is able to look upon all of us and proud of the things that we're able to overcome. So we thought everything was going to be fine and dandy and that the journey was over. The doctors told me, every procedure went good. My emergency surgery was over 10 hours long. I had 2 of my surgeries there. So I returned home. They said, you should be able to finish school. You should be able to return back to school about September, October. You'll be walking again. Everything should be perfectly fine. But that was actually not the case. I was laying in my bed, and then we recognized that we were having some issues with my right leg. It suffered a bigger injury. The bone did actually come through the skin, and I was stuck in the car for over 2 hours long with them not being able to get us out. So in result of that, I did contract an infection. However, the first hospital did not catch this infection, so it's been in my body for over 6 weeks. So by the time that they got me to Erlinger Hospital, the infection has already went on too long. That is where I then spent over 3 months off and on. So I spent over half my senior year of college there battling to save my right leg. And then in result, though, it just did not happen. However, though, it was completely okay because they warned me early on after my third surgery that this was a limb wrist surgery. But all I could do is try. All I did was pray, and I wanted to tell myself at the end of the day that I knew that I tried everything possible. I never wanted to look back and say that I gave up. I never wanted to wonder, okay, I did get my leg amputated, but could I have kept fighting? Could I have kept going on longer and was able to save it? But then at one point, I've lost almost all blood flow in my right leg. None of the antibiotics could work without blood flow. And then my body was starting to take a bigger effect where I was starting to receive more illnesses. So on October 18th of 2019, my right leg was amputated above the knee. And then ever since then, I've always wondered, okay, what's next? You know, and my what next was being able to complete college. Because let me tell you guys, it ain't easy. And you're going to want to make sure that you finish that. And you also don't want debt, so you do want to finish. And then, so, my next step was that I wanted to be able to get a leg. I wanted to be able to start walking again. So on December 19th of 2019, 5 months ago from my accident, I was able to receive my first prosthetic, where then I was able to start walking again, and I made it back to the Wesleyan to be able to complete my second semester of college. But now I want to be able to speak upon a couple things that I learned through my accident. One of the first things that I learned through my accident is how you as an individual can impact people's life. Now that's also your decision if you're going to impact people's life in a positive aspect or a negative aspect. Like I said, in this accident, it was nothing to do with what my friend or I took part in. It was all because of other people's actions that our life, one life was put to rest and another life has changed forever. So this is where today you can make that decision. Are you going to help people for the better or for the worse? And with that being said, every decision that you make whenever you're in a car does not just affect you or the people in your car. You're affecting every person on that road, and they have loved ones at home waiting to see them come back home. Another thing that I learned is how God makes everything happen for a reason. Obviously, when you have a tragedy happen, you wonder, why me? Why did this have to happen to me when I did nothing wrong? But sometimes you don't know what was the why me. Sometimes that signal comes a day after, a week after, a month after, a year after. Sometimes you may never know. Another component that I've learned is to be grateful for what we have in our life and who we have. I know for everyone this was not an ideal graduation that you were seeing when you came in as a freshman to have on your senior year. However, though, you can be grateful that there was people loving enough in your life to be able to put something on like this. But some other small things that I realized that I took for granted was being able to walk. It took 11 months for me to be able to walk on my own again. Being able to use the restroom by yourself. Being able to feed yourself. Being able to bathe yourself. A lot of these things took 3 to 4 months and many, many hours of my parents being able to assist me with these things that I was not able to do on my own again. Let your friends and family know how important they are to you and how much that you love them. Because none of us are promised tomorrow. No matter how young or old, healthy or ill, no one is promised tomorrow. It's imperative to let your loved ones know how much they mean to you and how much that you care about them. Take every opportunity after this that is presented to you. No, don't let anyone ever tell you that you were too busy or that you cannot do it, because you can do it all. If you want to take that job and go to school, do it. If you want to go take vacations, do it, because you never know when your last day is. You want to be able to live every day like it's the last. Make sure to always give back to one another as well as your community, because you never know when you're going to be in a time of need and whenever you're going to want people's assistance. Always remember to remain positive in a negative situation, such as COVID-19 is a perfect example. Instead of dwelling on the negatives, we can look at the positive things that we can have in life, like being able to spend time with our loved ones and being able to have a graduation like this with the people that care about us. This next chapter in your life is going to be hard, and it's going to be a challenge. But one way that I always looked at it when I was struggling in school was, if it was easy, every single person in their life would do this. But not everyone does. When the things that are hard, those are the things that are worth fighting for. And then what you want to be able to rely on is your faith, your family, your friends, your loved ones, and your community. Because I can stand here today and tell you, without God, without my family and friends, without my loved ones, and without the community, there's no way that I'd be able to stand here today in front of you all. And in closing remarks, I want to let you guys know that no situation in life defines you. I never like to look at my accident and be able to say, this is what defines me, and this is the kind of person that I am. But what does define you is how you decide to carry yourself in those situations and not use them as a crutch or to be a victim, but how you can help people and how you can overcome it. Those things in life is what defines us. Once again, I want to congratulate you guys on your graduation. Hope you all have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Kyle. Again, my name is Representative Mark Cochran. I have the pleasure of serving you in the Tennessee House of Representatives, all of McMinn County and a portion of Monroe County. I'm also very proud to be a Central graduate. So it's truly an honor to be here with you this evening. And I really just wanted to thank you very much for allowing me to be with you at what I would consider a very historic graduation. As you're aware, life isn't always fair, and this year certainly has not been fair to all of you. Kyle ended his speech, I believe, in a very interesting way, because I had a similar thought written in my remarks to you this evening, and so the whole situation kind of reminded me of a line from an old Kevin Costner movie, Tin Cup. Throughout the movie, the actor Kevin Costner, he uses the line, when a defining moment comes along, you can either define the moment or the moment defines you. So an interesting choice that Kyle used. When you this evening, when you see this ceremony that your parents and that you put together, know that this is you defining the moment. You are defining the moment. You are not allowing the moment to define you. And I applaud you for that. So this is an extremely exciting day for many of you as you prepare to commit to your next step in life after high school. I actually have a vague recollection of what you're thinking, because it actually wasn't too terribly long ago when I was sitting where you are today with a blue robe on. As a matter of fact, most people at the state capitol still think I'm in high school, so I can relate a little bit to where you are. But whether you've thought much about it or not, after you pass over this stage and after you leave the park tonight, your future is out there waiting on you. Your future home, your future spouse, children, your career. That can be a very exciting thought. It can be a very overwhelming thought. It can be a little bit of both. And so regardless of which one of those camps you find yourself in this evening, excited, terrified, or both, I come here tonight to deliver to you very brief points of good news. What I first want to let you know is that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Now, what does that mean? It means that there is a God above who made you not only in his image, but he made you with a purpose. We are not just here randomly roaming the earth. There is a plan for your life. It is up to you to discover that calling and to fulfill it. One way to accomplish that is simply to work very hard at what you're doing currently. Or as Colossians 3:23 tells us, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Regardless if you are sweeping floors, mowing lawns, washing windows, whatever you are doing right now, be the best at it, and people will notice. As a mentor of mine once said, Mark, kick butt in the present and future doors will open, was how she put it, and I wholeheartedly believe that. Now, my second piece of good news is this. Not only did the Lord create you and place you here with a purpose, you have the great and unique privilege of seeking your success in the United States of America. No other nation in the history of nations has ever empowered the individual citizen to pursue his or her dreams like the United States. If anyone tells you differently, they are misleading you. As we talked about earlier, circumstances aren't always fair. For one reason or another, there will always be times when the deck is stacked against you. But do not surrender to being classified as a victim. Remember that you have the ultimate weapon in your arsenal, and that weapon is freedom. There's nothing holding you back here except how hard you are willing to work for that thing that you want. Now, while that is excellent news, it also puts a great deal of responsibility on you as individuals, and it leaves very little room for excuses. Once you walk over this stage, your success in life is not contingent on your parents, is not contingent on your teachers, and is not contingent on your friends. It's up to you. It is solely your responsibility to be the masters of your own destinies. And you have the constitutionally guaranteed right to pursue God's plan for your life. I encourage you not to squander that opportunity. Work hard. Be successful. And as President Reagan stated, as Americans, you have every right to dream heroic dreams. And so I encourage you to go do that. Go accomplish great things. Go be successful. Accomplish wonderful things for your family, for this community, for our state, and for this great nation. And with that, I'm going to ask you to stand. I think they're changed. Hey, there we go. That was better. We should have done that at the beginning of the speech. So it is my great honor as your state representative to present to you, ladies and gentlemen, the 2020 class of Central High School of McMinn County. With that, we are going to ask the first row to remain standing.